welcome. My name's Petra. Today I'm in Stonington, Connecticut with my lovely daughter Natasha.
Hi.
We're Knit Inc.
Oh.
And
This is us.
this is us. And we are bringing you episode 19 of our YouTube channel where we talk about all things yarny knitting.
Yeah. Today is Friday, September 3rd. There is a cool crispness to the air. The sun is still nice and bright and strong, but there's definitely a temperature shift. I'm not quite ready for 100% fall. I feel like a lot of times here we go from the high 80s and 90s to the low 70s.
Or high 60s.
Or high 60s. And I'd like a few more high 70 days, you know? I'm excited about all the fall knitting. I feel like that has come in full swing, but I need a few more warm days. So I am going to actually go to the beach a little later today.
Nice.
I have the day off. My company does these self-care days once a month. The first Friday of every month, the whole company has the day off. And a lot of times that syncs up with a holiday. So I also have Monday off.
Wow, that's
because
nice.
of Labor Day. So the whole company has a 4-day weekend. So that's really exciting.
Anticipation.
Okay, so what have you been up to this last couple weeks, or I guess the last month since we have recorded?
So I went on one really lovely getaway, but we will be talking about a giveaway.
Yes.
Getaway to the Poconos in Pennsylvania, where my
Nice.
friend and her mom, and they're both knitters, so that was nice.
Kind of like a little retreat in a way.
A little retreat, but the Wi-Fi is really good there, and we were able to work for a couple of days, and one of my colleagues called it a workcation.
Cute.
Yep. So that's nice because you can get away and have a different setting but still work and not use up all your vacation time. So that was really relaxing.
Yeah.
We did a lot of cooking, hiking, and kayaking on the lake.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And now we're all getting ready to go to the UK.
Yep.
But I'm flying out first.
Oh my God, you leave in 6 days?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez.
I know. But yeah, one day at a time. I've got my list of things I need to do. So
Okay.
there we go.
Okay, great.
What about you, sweetheart? What have you been up to?
I haven't really been going anywhere. I've been coming home a few times. We have a little furry member that has joined the family here in Stonington. I'm gonna go get him.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been coming home to visit this guy. This is Andri. He has a Scandinavian name. He is very active right now. He's very excited, but I call him Drekkie, or Mr. Muffin Man, and he is. Say hi to everyone. He is nine weeks old. He's a miniature Australian Shepherd. No bite. He has discovered yarn. He likes my hair. He's in a very playful mood right now, but he kind of has these spurts of 45 minutes of playing, and then he totally passes out. Right now, he is ready to play. So I just wanted you all to see him before. Oh, it's nice kisses. Kisses are nice. No bite.
He's pretty cute, but he does love yarn.
He does. He has discovered yarn. There we go. He's calming down a bit. Anyway, that's little Drekkie. I'm sure you'll see more of him. And
he seems to get along okay with the chickens.
Oh, yeah.
He apparently herded them into their run yesterday. Thank you to all of you who gave me advice about the chickens. We are in a much better routine now that they stay in their run until around noonish, and then we let them out. They've been laying some amazing eggs. I was fermenting some of their food. The egg yolks are really big in the eggs. And they still sometimes go across the road to our neighbor's yard. There's a wild cherry tree that was dropping a lot of cherries on the road, and they of course love those cherries. But we're all pretty much more comfortable with each other now. We have a pretty good routine.
Nice.
Yeah. So thank you for all your comments. I really enjoyed reading them. Okay, so Natasha.
Shall we get into knitting?
Well, let's get into our knitting program.
All right. Do you want to start with what you're wearing?
So I am wearing the Roselle tee that I talked about last time. It was unwearable because basically the neckband was too loose and it was just slipping off my shoulders. So I did I think 4 or 5 rows of single crochet. You probably can't even see it, but it really had the effect of tightening it up. I am thinking that I might do just a couple more. I'm not used to wearing, low, this isn't really low, but necklines like this. Most of my clothes are pretty high neckline. But yeah, it feels really comfortable.
It looks great. You did a great job.
Thanks. And now I'm happy that, it's sat for over a year and
now you can
now I can wear it. Yeah.
It's really nice.
Thank you. And the yarn, it's a linen cotton blend. I'll put the information in the show notes.
It'll be in your, it'll link to Ravelry with all your details, right?
Yeah, but I'll put the yarn in for people who can't access Ravelry.
Yeah, we do put some of those details in there, so if you want, you don't have to go to Ravelry to see them.
But it is a Norwegian, it's sandness garn.
Yeah.
It's a very light fingering weight yarn, I would say.
Nice.
And what about you, Natasha?
Okay.
You are wearing a new FO.
Yes, this is my outline tank by Jessie May Designs, and I had some drama last week with this.
Last
month. So I have like a nude bra under here. I did have like a black bra on before. Still trying to figure out what I want to wear under it. It's a lot more obvious in the video than it is in real life, I think. But anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's pretty short. I like the crop on it. I did it like maybe 2 inches more than the pattern suggested for length. And once you get to splitting for the cups, it's just so quick. So this is done with shibui yarn. I think it was called koan, Koan, and I used 1.5 skeins. The drop stitches are fun. The ribbing I did on US size 3, the body on size 4. And I'm happy with it. Just got to figure out the right undergarment. I kind of feel like I like the black, just kind of embrace that it's a little pop of see-through.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to do something nude. So
I think black too, and I actually was going through the same thing, what kind of tank top to wear under my top today. I'll stand up because of the lace. I had grey, but I've gone with black.
I think black is nicer, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so what about some FOs?
Yes, let me see. I have 2 FOs.
Okay.
And one was almost an FO last time. How many FOs do you have, Natasha?
I have 3.
Okay, you go first then.
Okay, I'll start with this one. So this is the Brodgar Tam. And I had started this, I think in like March. And my dad had gotten me this kit for Christmas. It's an Orkney tweed kit. And it is from the Nessa. So basically, I gave a whole breakdown of this when I cast on. But basically, the motifs in here are inspired by the carved symbols of some Neolithic stone artifacts that are being excavated at the Ness of Brodgar up in Orkney, which is above Scotland. And so this is color work, and there's 4 different colors. There's a black, a white, a light gray, and a dark gray. This is the pattern. And I had put it down when it got warm, and I had gone through kind of this first circular motif here and just had at the top to go. And it was on size 2. I have an end to weave in. It was on size 2, and I needed the size 2 for another project, so it prompted me to finish this and get it done. So it's kind of, a different hat, but I think it's kind of cool.
It's beautiful, Natasha.
It's just a little loose. Like it's nice that it covers my whole ears, but it's a little loose. Like it could like fall down like to here. So that's what I mean by just a little loose. So I did block it. I don't know if it's worth trying to shrink it at all
just a tad.
But it doesn't really fall down. I haven't like worn it out and about. I just kind of put it on and but yeah,
it doesn't feel
and even if I have my glasses on, it might actually fill it in a little more.
That's true. It's a really stylish hat, Natasha.
Yeah, I think
gorgeous.
it's really cool.
Did you enjoy the color work?
I did. It's It's an easy pattern. I think the yarn is, very rustic and hat hair, and great for color work. So
yeah, it's sticky.
yeah. So
And I think it's all natural wool from not dyed, right?
Yeah.
From different sheep, which is gorgeous.
And I actually have quite a bit left over.
Oh, you do? Do you think enough for what? Another hat?
I don't know.
Or...
I have 25 of full, so they came in like little mini skein. Not exactly mini skeins, but it was 25 gram skeins, and I have a full 25 gram of the dark gray, and then close to a full 25 gram of the light gray, and then maybe half of that of the white and black. So I'm not sure what it would be enough for at the moment.
Okay, maybe I can see what I have in my stash that would go with it.
Yeah. So that's that project.
Nice. Okay, so I did finish the deshane. I think I was on the second sleeve. I was very close to being finished last time, and I'm making it for my hairdresser. I did go and get my hair cut and I forgot it. I should try to, well, it'll be great for the autumn. It's knit from, I talked about it quite a lot last time, so I won't go into it, but the yarn is Hampton, and it is a cotton linen blend. Yeah, 70% cotton, 30% linen. I am a little bit worried about the fit. I did go back and do some short rows, so I'm just worried that it still might rise up a little bit. It has been blocked. I put my little label on.
That's really nice.
And the short rows are in the lower back.
Okay.
Yeah, I did 6, I think. So maybe I'll ask you.
Well, the back looks longer when you're holding it up now, which
that's a good sign.
Yeah.
So maybe you can try it on for me today, actually.
Sure.
So I was happy to have this finished. Now I just have to get it to her. I'll try maybe this weekend. So that's one FO.
Nice.
And
okay,
you?
Sure. So I have another one of my classic little baby hats. This is for a baby that is due around November. This one's a little bigger than the others. It just so happened that way. I don't know what I did differently, but might have cast on a few extra stitches. So this will be gifted to a little baby in November, and if you've missed it, when I've done these, I've just followed like baby hats for the whole family or something like that for a pattern for an air and weight hat. And it's a free pattern. I'll link to it. So there's a few different variations if you want to do a fold over brim or a rolled brim or 2x2 or whatever. I actually did garter, which is not in the pattern, but
that's nice. And you're using those little mini sheepies, which I think is 10-gram little balls or something like that.
Yeah, and it's usually about 2 full to do a baby size, depending on.
So 20 grams, and I think
about that. Yeah.
It's the pattern's for Aran weight, but that's worsted weight yarn that you're using.
Oh, maybe the pattern's for worsted weight then.
They're close. And what size needles are you using?
I vary between doing buying the cast on in 6 or 7, and then the body in 8 or 9, depending on how I'm feeling.
Yeah. So my other FO is a hat too, actually.
Okay.
And I may have started it last time we talked.
I don't know if you talked about it. You might have started it, but I don't think we talked about it.
Okay, it's called the sorry, I'm just looking up the name. It's called the Beeswax hat.
This is cool.
Yeah. And it's a gift for my niece, and it's extra fine merino wool DK in this kind of beautiful eucalyptus color.
It's so
she
soft.
likes green. It's kind of loose. It's a little slouchy, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's okay though. You know, that's nice because then it actually covers your ears.
Mm-hmm.
I think sometimes when hats are just a little too small or a little too tight, you gotta get the lobe coverage. You know, it's gotta be able to go down there. It needs to be a little looser to do that. Because in Boston, when it gets cold, if your hat only goes to here, it's not fun.
Right, getting your ears covered. That's true.
So. And you haven't blocked this yet?
No, I haven't blocked it yet. And so we're going to their wedding actually in September, and I want to give these hats to them as a wedding gift. The black is this Filatura di Crossa. It's also a DK weight yarn, and so I started the one for my nephew. I'll just call him my nephew, my niece's husband to be. His gonna be the cuff is gonna be in this eucalyptus, and the bulk of the hat is gonna be in this black. But I only have this much left, which I don't think, based on how much yarn I needed for this. So these come in 50-gram balls, and for the green I needed just a little bit more of a second one.
Oh, okay.
And I have just a little bit less than a 50-gram ball of the black. So I decided to do a different pattern for him, and I'm going to use, it's a free pattern on Ravelry. It's called Mood Steps. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
By Sarah Jansen, I think. I'm going to put the link below. And she made it with a solid color and a yarn that changed colors. But I've seen, there's quite a few on Ravelry, and I've seen ones where they use two solid colors. So that's going to be the second hat. If I have time or while I'm traveling, I'm going to make them a doggy sweater, because I've got quite a bit of this Sublime in the sage colorway left.
Okay.
And I'm going to use the same pattern that
Cute.
I used for the other two doggies. Yeah. Actually, that might be my traveling knit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I've been knitted several times now. So that's it for my finished objects.
Okay, I just have one more.
Oh, okay.
So I did a new hat for my friend's mom who is fighting cancer. So this is actually called the chemo cap. And I used this yarn called Dream, I think.
Did you get it from me?
Yeah. I think
Yes, I know. It's a friend of mine gave it to me to make a sweater. It's a famous hand dyer that I can't remember now.
I think it was Dream. Okay, it was the Dream in color. So I was close.
Yeah.
And so this hat, this is also a free Ravelry pattern. Oh, it's called the Gia Chemo Cap by A Little Knitty Designs. And you do three
like that.
kind of
garter ridges.
Yeah. Well, you do some purl. It's not exactly garter, because you do.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You purl, then you knit, then you purl, then you knit, then you purl, and you leave a long tail so that you can then wrap it at the end like that. And this yarn grew quite a bit. I think the hat grew. It like got huge, and I actually put it in the dryer for a bit to shrink down. But it's still good. It's super soft. It's super wash yarn. So it's like just extra soft, and I did it on a size 8, and I think the pattern called for 7, but I wanted it to be like a little looser. Still tight enough to be warm, but just not like super dense. So a little bit drapey. So I'm gonna give that to my friend to give to her mom this weekend.
Can I feel it?
Yeah.
I really like this little detail. It gives it a little bit
something
of style.
extra, and you can you can do it dead center or to the side. Either way is kind of cute.
Kind of a little turban flare.
Yeah.
Yeah, very nice, Natasha.
Lots of hats.
Lots of hats. And I'm gonna make one for her too. I haven't started. I think I was gonna use the same yarn but different colors, right?
I have some extras of this actually.
Okay, good.
All right.
Hat season is coming upon us.
It is. Okay. Whips.
Yep, let's go to whips. I am back. I got my sock mojo back.
Oh,
I've
boy.
hardly knit any socks this year. This might only be my 4th pair. I think Sock Madness really burned me out at the beginning of the year.
Oh, yeah.
But I needed some easy knitting for the trip to Pennsylvania. My friend was driving and I just needed something. So I decided to, I actually cast on a new pair of socks because I was at the heel turn and I couldn't remember exactly without looking at a pattern how to do a heel flap and gusset, which is crazy because I used to be able to do it in my sleep. But anyway, this is a Shopple wool yarn and it's
Is this all one skein?
This is all one skein. There's basically no repeat, and I matched the second sock. Well, I am using a different yarn for the toe and heel. I'm just using up some little minis that I had. So
Puppy wants
yeah,
to come in.
and I was able to match the second sock. I think I just had to wind off a little bit of yarn. This is shopper wool yarn, and I don't think I have the ball band handy, but I'll put the information below. It's really a fun yarn with this long stripe, so it doesn't repeat. And I'll just move on to my other whip because
Those are cool. Do you have someone in mind for those?
I do. I'm making them for Sarah's husband,
Alex,
but I'm worried they might be too small. So I cast on a second stock. I also did a contrasting, really tough toe where I used this linen thread. It's almost thread-like, that I got from a lady I met on a walk in France, a knitter, which I'll share that story maybe on our next episode. But anyway, this is the yarn that I'm using. It's the first time I've used this. It's called Walk, and it says Walk on the back.
I think that's just a little tagline.
Yeah, it's called this is a really hard.
I use this brand.
Get Fira.
Are they Italian?
Yeah,
Proudly
yeah.
designed in Tuscany. I used this on my caramel sweater. It was the pink kind
That's
of.
right.
Yeah.
So it's called 142, I guess, Lena Mia. And what I didn't realize is that it's designs, you get to a neutral point in here where you can break the yarn so that you can easily make the socks to match. It's all the instructions are written on the inside of the label.
That's cool.
And I wasn't aware of that until I opened up the label, so that was kind of nice. I'm using brown sheep, pretty tough yarn for the toe. I want these to be super durable socks for my brother-in-law. I'm using the same heel gusset and flap as for the other yarn, and now I'm just getting into the striping, and I'm still working on the gusset here. Yeah, and these are 68 stitch sock. And
I think we're kind of losing it today.
We are all over the place
all
today.
over the place.
Maybe because it's a Friday before a long weekend.
It's a Friday. My dad and sister are here. The puppy's here.
There's people getting their gardens landscaped.
Yeah. It's not a quiet, Saturday morning, which is sometimes when we're typically doing it. It's midday on a Friday, so.
Yeah, it's sort of my lunch break. So apologies for the distractions.
It's just all over, but whatever.
Anyway, so those are my whips. Now I got tangled up in the yarn. Okay, Natasha. I do have maybe one more whip. Yep. Oh, actually 2 more whips. Go on, you go.
Okay.
Go.
I'm curious, what happened to all your summer tops? Are those some sleeping, or what's going on with those?
So this summer top I do want to finish for my trip.
Okay.
Which is the Venus by Rowan. I'm still on the sleeves.
By Martin Storey.
Yeah. And you know what? If I had realized that the knit along for Let's Hear It for the Boys ended on August 31st, I might have rallied. But I took this to Pennsylvania and I didn't knit on it at all. And I think that's in part because I would have had to concentrate on the pattern, and that's hard to do when you're, in company with other people.
Yeah.
It felt kind of rude. So I took it with me and I didn't even take it out of the bag. But I'm pretty close with my sleeves. I'm knitting them 2 at a time.
Oh, you're so close.
Yeah, so they are going to be shaped. It's similar to this actually, where you shape the sleeves and then you insert them.
Okay.
So, and it's even a similar color, but it's a bit thicker, and I think it's going to be getting cooler in England, which is why I really want to finish this, because I think this will be great to wear while I'm in England with maybe a black long sleeve top. So that's where I am.
You're very close. How's the yarn chicken situation?
Yeah, I'll show you. So I want to finish this weekend. So this is unless I run out of, which now that I'm looking at the yarn,
I think you're gonna be okay.
Do you? Yeah.
I think you're gonna be okay.
I should be shaping the shoulders soon. The thing is, well, I guess, yeah, because you just go back and forth.
And that's gonna be
here.
shorter, right?
That's true. You're not going all the way around. Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be close.
It's gonna be close, but I think you're gonna be okay.
And if I run out of yarn, then that means I'm not gonna be able to take it to England.
No.
Anyway, so yes, I was knitting on 3 summer tops. So I finished the Deshane.
Yep.
The Rowan is close, and hopefully this weekend, and it's in creative linen, which is another linen cotton blend, and then the other one, the Cascada.
Yeah.
I haven't touched at all, and I'm on the sleeves.
Okay.
So if this one isn't for England, then the other one will be, and I felt like I wanted to make one more summer top, but I'm not sure. We're now transitioning sort of into fall, but it's with this yarn, this linen yarn. There's something I wanted to cast on. The pattern is Soul. By Jacqueline Cizliak. I've literally just cast this on, and I'm going to make it longer and add sleeves, and it's in a shibui linen blue yarn, and it's very, very similar color to yours, but not quite.
It's a little more purple.
It's a little bit more purple, yeah. It's sort of in my favorite shade, and I literally have just cast on. So this is probably going to be, in reality, this is probably going to be a top for next summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for my summer knitting tops. I'm not thinking about any others. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
What about you, sweetie? What's your
Okay, so last time I talked about my fold lines tale of woe.
Oh yes.
Where I didn't swatch and it was way too big. So I have some pictures, I think, of comparing them, but I have redone the back.
Oh wow.
I have not blocked it, but the back is done.
It's beautiful. Oh yes, much smaller. Yeah.
Yeah, and it still has like plenty of stretch and will be It's drop shoulder. This is Fold Lines by Norah Gaughan. It's a Brooklyn tweed pattern, and this is also in shibui. What were you gonna say?
Just that the yarn has a really nice shine to it because there's silk in it, and
it is Shibui Knits Echo, and it's 52% silk, 48% fine merino, and this is the bone colorway.
And what's interesting about it is that the silk and the merino is sort of plied together, and that's what gives it some depth. I feel like
you can kind of see maybe.
Yeah.
So I finished the back, and I am a few rows before I'm on the front now. I'm a few rows before I cast on these extra stitches for the sleeves.
Oh, for the drop shoulder sleeves.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this, like you said, I can't really do this out and about because it is a charted pattern. So I put this little marker and I try and do an inch a day.
Oh, okay.
And this, I actually didn't move it this morning, and I'd done a couple rows today already. So I'm gonna just put that down. And sometimes, like, if I do more than an inch, it's exciting. But this is just a little marker to help me be like, okay, do an inch a day. It usually ends up being about half an inch, an inch and a half.
Oh, that's
but
great.
It helps to give me a little bit of motivation to just do it. It's about like 6 rows to do that.
So I'm going to talk a little bit about our comments. So thank you so much for your comments and also advice on...
Oh, and we didn't even welcome everyone. Welcome to our new and returning viewers. We're so glad you're here.
A very big welcome. We enjoy your comments.
Yes.
And I wanted to say that somebody asked how you feel about this pattern, Natasha. Is it a complicated pattern? Are you in the rhythm of it now? Because a few people are thinking of casting on the fold lines too.
Yeah, it's It's got a good level of interest to keep you going. Sometimes it feels a little, especially if you're going to knit it as long as the pattern suggests for before you go for the armholes. Like I'm eliminating a whole like repeat. I don't want to say tedious, but you're just like, okay, I'm ready to, it's a lot. It's a 22 stitch repeat. And I do find I have to reference the the beginning of each row. And you are purling. It's knit flat, so you're knitting and purling, and sometimes the purl rows are just annoying. I'd say I'm enjoying it, but I can't do it for a long time.
Okay.
And I'm really excited about the final product that it's going to be. The sun just went behind clouds. I think there might have been a light shift change.
Yeah.
So to answer your question, I think it's worth trying on. I would recommend swatching because I didn't and it was a disaster. And choose a light yarn too.
Oh, yes.
Because the dark yarn isn't going to show the pattern as much, and that's just going to be a shame if you spend all that time doing a pattern and then you can't even see it.
Right.
And it is interesting how the diagonal patterns happen. It's not with cable, it's with kind of twisting your stitches. And every so often I'll do it the wrong way, and and it's kind of tough to knit back. If I don't catch it, it happened on my previous one. I did it like 3 or 4 times and just kept going. Because I noticed it like an inch later. But if you catch it on the next row, you can fix it. But because you're kind of shifting the 2 stitches, you're twisting each time, it's tough. You can't just do the trick of dropping down the 2 stitches. You have to drop down a lot because you're moving along diagonally as you go. So it's not an easy fix if you want to go back and fix something that you twisted. So you kind of have to catch it the next row.
I see.
So that's something to look out for. But I'll see. I will see what the sleeves are like. I'm hoping they'll be a little quicker because they're going to start lower. They're not starting up here.
Oh, yeah.
They're starting lower. And then you also have I'll have the ribbing at the end. So it's just going to be like, from mid shoulder to just above the wrist for the pattern. So it's not going to be a ton of the pattern because I'm ready to be done with it now, especially because I've knit like 3 because I did the extra back.
And it's going to be perfect for the autumn.
Yeah, I'm ready for it to be done. So I'm just making progress on it. But yeah, I think Brooklyn Tweed actually, they have like a difficulty rating system on their patterns. I will just look real quick.
And do you think you're going to knit your sleeves 2 at a time like I'm knitting mine?
No, I'll knit them 1 at a time. They're knit flat, yeah. Okay, so they do it in their, I'm not giving anything away with this pattern, but they do, they say on their pattern, obviously you'd have to buy it to get these details, but they have a out of 5 scale, and this is a 3 out of 5 for skill level. So they're calling it intermediate. So they're saying if you know long tail cast on, backward loop cast on, simple cables, even though you're not actually cabling, you're just twisting stitches, reading charts, increasing and decreasing, incorporating stitches into an established pattern. So I think that's referring to when you cast on these extra stitches under this for the sleeve, you're not casting on a whole repeat.
Oh, I see.
So you have to be aware of you're doing half a repeat, you're doing like the second half of a repeat when you're starting, and you're doing the first half of a repeat at the end. So you need to be able to read a chart pretty well.
I see.
And then sloped bind off, but that technique is in they do a good job with Brooklyn Tweed of including special techniques. They don't explain how to read the chart, but they do explain some special techniques.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, the Brooklyn Tweed patterns are usually pretty detailed, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, it's a 12-page pattern.
Gosh, yeah, and they are usually pretty advanced. I've knit a couple of them too.
Yeah. This is size 4 US needles too.
Okay.
Oh, and I never talk about my bag, but I did want to point this out. I'm doing this in my Knitwit Yarn Shop bag. I like this bag. Right now it's fitting the sweater fine. It stays open and it's like super portable. So this is a nice one to bring around.
That is nice.
From Portland, Maine.
And couple of things. So I was working on the sock last night, staying up with the puppy, not realizing that he was playing with my ball of yarn. He loves yarn. So
he has discovered yarn.
We have to puppy
We have to do some puppy proofing,
Yeah. And I know you were quick to say that you're not going to knit your sleeves two at a time, they're knit flat. But it's not that different to how I'm doing my Rowan sleeves. And when you knit them two at a time, you're thinking about that one row, which is the same on both sleeves, versus...
I'd consider it then. I'll consider it.
It's actually, I think, more efficient.
I've never done it, so maybe I'll try it.
There you go. I would say when sleeves are knit flat, do them both at a time.
Okay.
Then and also you don't have to worry about when you're increasing or decreasing, or they might be kind of straightish, those sleeves.
I have to look at the pattern.
Anyway, okay. So that's...
And I don't know if they're knit. I'm assuming they're knit bottom up. But I don't know actually. I don't know if I seam and pick up and go down either. I have to look.
You haven't read ahead. Okay.
No, I just got to get through the front.
Sleeve. Sleeve Island is coming.
Yeah. Do you have any other whips?
Oh yes, gosh. My most fun whip, I almost forgot, is the knit along.
Oh, okay. Let me do my second whip and then we can go into we have 2 knit alongs to talk about.
Yeah.
Okay, so my next whip is a new one. This is called the League. Actually, it might just be called League. I might have just added the. And it's by Veronik Avery. It's actually also a Brooklyn tweed pattern. And I've had this in my queue for a while too. So it's kind of a color blocking.
Which you like a lot.
Yeah, I was excited to do that. I'm just going to pull up what it looks like. So this is also knit flat.
It's fun.
And I wanted to use some stash yarn. My dad had gotten me this Ball Ramu Titus yarn when he went to England.
Over 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Pre-pandemic.
I want to say 2018, 2019. So it is Titus yarn. It's fingering. It's 70% British wool, 30% alpaca. So he was really sweet. He got this at Tribe Yarns. He went to Tribe Yarns in London. I think, what was the name of that? It's just not like in the heart of London, but
it escapes me right now.
But it's a popular British yarn shop.
It is. I'd like to go there one day.
So he got me 2 skeins. He got me a teal one and a dark gray one, and they are 350 yards, 100 grams. So it's a lot. It's a lot in here.
Yeah.
But it's not enough just the 2. And I didn't think that one color was going to be enough for the body. So the way the pattern is, the body is one color, the sleeves are another color, and then there's kind of this
color blocking,
raglan area color blocking on the front and back, and it's actually done with intarsia, and I've never done intarsia before, so it's going to be my first time. So I wanted to use this yarn. So I wanted to go a little bit extra with the color blocking since I didn't think that this was going to be enough for front and back one skein. So I'm going to do the back in the dark gray, the front in the teal.
Oh, wow.
And then I'm going to use 2 other types of yarns for the other parts. I'm going to do the sleeves in this Holst Noble. I'm going to hold this double, this gray.
Oh, wow.
So the sleeves are going to be gray.
Gosh, you've thought this out.
And then the area here is going to be in this Rauma Finul PT2 purple. So it's a mix of all different kinds of yarn.
But they're all non-superwash.
They're all non-superwash. This isn't fingering, but held double. It's fingering-ish.
Close, yeah. It's sportish. I think it'll work.
I'm going for it.
That's great.
I'm just like, I wanted to use, I've got some yarn purchasing happening, and I've got a small Boston apartment. I needed to use some of my stash. I had been pretty good about what I had gained in the summer with linens and stuff and using them right away. So to make way for some fall stuff, I was like, I need to cast these on. And I have a bunch of single skein stuff. Like, this is just one skein I have of this. Yes, this would be good for a color work, but I'll probably have leftovers, and I just wanted to get going on some of the single skeins. I've been wanting to use this yarn for ages. So yeah, I am in the middle of a row. I realized I had actually screwed up and went back. So it's the directions for this. It's a tubular bind on, but it's not. It's a tubular bind on with waste yarn.
Oh, I know that. Do you crochet?
I didn't crochet.
Oh, okay.
I did the first couple of rows of the tubular bind on. It's really nice.
It's beautiful.
With actually size 1.5, and then I did the ribbing in size US 2, and the body is in size 3. So it's hard to tell right now because I'm in the middle of the row, but the ribbing cinches in quite a bit if I let it relax. You can see, but it's got a good stretch, and I'm pretty close to gauge on the body. You do some decreasing as you go up, and I'm definitely going to make it a little shorter than the pattern. I think the pattern was from 2018, and I think that was just before everyone was getting into the shorter crop stuff. So I'm going to make it not totally cropped, but definitely shorter than, I think the pattern has you knit to like 14 inches for under the armhole. I'll probably do like 12. So yeah, I'm working on the back first. It's just stocking at stitch back and forth, but yeah, I think the color blocking is gonna go interestingly. We'll see.
Did you swatch?
Kind of. I did a few rows, and then I was on this, and I was like, I'm just gonna go. I'm doing the second size.
Okay, your knitting looks very nice. It's a very nice gauge. And you're using liquor needles. Are these separate? These aren't part of the...
These are not part of my kit because they are my set. They are size 3. I got them separately.
Oh, okay. And you like using the liquor needles?
Yeah. So those are my whips. All right. So some fun knit along stuff. Okay, so we are doing a knit along with our friend Joyce from Ruby Moss Cottage and our friends Loretta and Natalia from Knit My Way Home, and we're doing the Marled Mania leggings by Stephen West, and it's got a hashtag, the official unofficial Marled Mania leggings knit along, KAL, that's the hashtag. And we actually did a little video meetup with them last weekend, and I'll insert the video of us chatting about it right now.
My name is Joyce, and I am the podcast Ruby Moss Cottage, and I live high up in the Great Smoky Mountains and in a yurt. And let's see, what else do you want to know? Knitter, crofter of all things, but right now, these sassy little Stephen West Marled Mania leggings. What is it? The unofficial, official Marled Mania legging cow.
Awesome.
Bringing us together from all corners.
That's great. And why don't you, Loretta and Bella, go?
Sure. Do you want it?
You go first.
Okay. We are from the podcast Knit My Way Home, and I'm Loretta, and we are in the Yukon, which is very far north in Canada, the far northwest corner, close to Alaska. And there we knit, and we gather food, we forage, we're usually outside, and today we're in the bedroom, and
because it's raining.
It's really, really rainy. So yeah, so even the rain, well, maybe it's stopping, but yeah, anyway, it was miserable outside. So we're inside, and this is
Bella,
who's also Natalia. Bella's a nickname that we call her, so yeah. And she's the real crafter. I'm almost exclusively knitting, but you do everything.
Right now I'm crocheting a cowl, not a cowl, but a shawl / travel blanket / just cozy little blanket. So I'm just knitting a lot.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Are you following a pattern, or are you picking it up?
Following a pattern. I'm just doing it without a pattern, just kind of crocheting all along.
Freeform.
Freeform, yeah.
Nice.
Is it going to be all the same color, or are you going to bring in other colors?
It's like an ombre. I don't know if it will show up, but it's like an ombre roll. So like it's
Okay.
kind of like cream.
Oh, yeah.
Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'll
And then
be really pretty.
I might have to get another one though. So.
Hi, I'm Petra. I'm the mom part of Knit Inc. And I am usually in Stonington, Connecticut, but I've escaped for a few days to the northwest corner of Pennsylvania. I've been staying in a beautiful cottage on a lake called Pulpak, which I think might be a native Indian name, with a friend of mine, and we were able to work remotely from here for a couple of days, which was really nice. We're calling it we called it a workcation.
Ha! Love
And
it.
then we stopped work on Friday afternoon, and we've done we've hiked around the lake a couple of times. It takes about 2.5 hours to walk all the way around the lake. So it's been nice. And we're all knitters, and we've been cooking together, and we've been knitting, and it's been just really beautiful.
And the other half of Knit Inc. I am in Stonington, but not at my house. I'm at a friend's house for the afternoon. So I'm in my mom's hometown, and I usually am in Boston. Can you hear the seagulls?
Yes.
It's been a mixture of cloud and sun this afternoon. I have my knitting. It's way down where my friends are. I forgot to bring it over here, but maybe I'll go grab it in a few minutes. Yeah.
And when I heard Loretta talk about this unofficial official knit along, I thought yes, because I remember when this pattern for the Mild Mania leggings came out, and I thought, wow, that would be fun, but I never actually got motivated to cast on. So I loved this opportunity to cast on and knit with you guys.
Yeah.
So did you all start your leggings?
I have. Kaya hasn't.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, Joyce, look at you.
Oh wow. I love the
I
color.
did the major increases to cover the bunkum. Short rows, a lot of short rows.
A lot of short rows.
I did more than he asked for, but just to be safe.
You want to have
I'd
enough.
rather be too big than not big enough.
Great.
So have you all started?
We're in a very
Whoa,
similar
look.
position where my mom has started, but I haven't. So similar to you two.
This is my behind here with the short rows, and I'm marching
You
along
have
on.
really. It's
I had to.
beautiful.
Thank you. I had to put it down because I could have just finished them. It was my favorite thing to knit on.
It is
So
so
fun.
easy. That's what everyone says, they don't have time, and I'm like, it knits up fast.
I'm really surprised. Well, because it's 2 strands of fingering. I am a little worried that my leg it's quite wide, but so it's not going to be like leggings. They'll be loose. And I've increased the he says decrease every 8th row in the pattern.
Oh, yes.
Now I've started from here. I know that doesn't mean much, but this is where the leg starts from about knee. From about the knee, I've started to decrease every 6th row, so they are getting a little bit narrower. But they're going to be kind
Right.
of roomy, which is probably okay. They'll be really comfy.
Well, you have to remember that he's a man. His leg shape is not like a woman's. So
Right.
my first pair, I did the same thing. I decreased it more often than he said. But this pair, I'm going to make more like yoga pants so that they don't taper in at the bottom. That they just I think they'll just be more comfortable. That way I'll have one pair that's tapered and one pair that's like
Right.
yoga pants.
That's funny. I'm already thinking about my second pair as I'm knitting on these. So
can
Loretta,
have.
did you? Let's take a look at.
I do, and I have mine are sitting in my office because that's where I knit on them. I've been using them as my lunchtime knitting, but what I have is I have the yarn that I'm using.
Oh, nice.
So my local yarn shop had a sale and I bought yarn during that. And so I have this, which I'm combining. And then I thought, oh, shoot, I don't have my leggings. So I just put a little tiny swatch so you can see how it will look. It's very red. So
Oh,
Love it.
I have
Oh, but
the
it's
bum
pretty.
part. Yeah, I love it. So they'll be red, and then because this has yellow in it, I'm sort of thinking about, oh, maybe at the bottom I'll do some yellow. But mine, it's really funny to knit them at work because I'm the only one at my workplace who does knitting. So I was working on them and they're like, oh, what are you making? Are you making a sweater? And I said, no. They looked at it and they're like, what is that? That's a bum. Yeah.
Great.
I had to take them back quite a bit because exactly they're I found when I was trying them on, they're structured for a man and my hips are curved. So I had to add, so I ripped them back a bit because once I put them on, they were it just felt too narrow and the fabric was getting too stretched. So I'm going to add a few more short rows and then bring them down again. But they're fast. I can't believe how quickly they go.
I know. I'm surprised too.
Exactly.
So thanks, Joyce, for talking us into this or for sharing the idea with us.
Yeah, I'll have to
I'm
pass
so
it
excited to
on
have people knit it with me.
to-
So Natasha, you're going to end up knitting a pair?
Yeah, I have to think about the yarn. I wonder if I should do Scrappy from your scraps, Mom. Got to think about that a little bit. Cause
Oh, you
Yeah.
could do something like Loretta, where you pick a color
Yeah.
family. You pick some, a solid
You need-
color with something.
you hold 2 strands of fingering. Does it say, or meters or yards do you need?
A lot.
Oh, it does say.
A lot. But I feel like it's a little deceiving thinking about it. This is what I've realized after you've been knitting it up, Mom, with how quickly they're going. Because it's kind of just like 2 really long arms, right?
Yeah.
And the butt area is kind of the body, and that's so much smaller than like a torso. So it's like a small torso and then
Right.
extra arms. So it's kind of like a sweater.
Yeah, with
The amount.
That's a great way to look
long-
at it.
Yeah.
So Loretta, how much yarn did you buy? Is that 150-gram balls that you were showing us?
Yeah, they are. I think I have 8 of them.
Okay.
So 2 of each color. And I'm not sure if I'll use it all or not, but I just didn't have, I had like of my scraps, I have too many different textures and like blends and things. So I thought, this is my first pair and I've been wanting to make them forever. So thank you, Joyce, because I'm so excited to be making them. And yeah, so I thought, oh, I don't know how it will look with all these different textures. But now that I'm knitting them up, I think, ooh, I would like to try it with many different types of, like with all my little bits and pieces.
Absolutely.
I
Yes.
thought I would
It'd be
want
very
them to be much more
artistic that
uniform.
way.
Yeah. Yeah, they're really fun.
So Bella, are you going to knit some, Bella?
I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know.
Yes.
Are you
I
gonna
mean, yours will be the cutest pair.
Very well. You
Bella,
could probably your mom's scraps.
I'm trying to talk her into it because she has all these really cool minis, and I'm trying to talk her into like, oh, use your minis.
That would be cool.
I hope that was a fun little way to get to know some new podcasters. They are linked below. Please check them out. So we're gonna, if you would love to cast these on, go ahead. Our plan is to end this at the end of October. No. End of
November, I think, or maybe even later.
Maybe we discussed end of the year.
I think so.
December 31st.
Yeah.
But we want to do a video meetup with everyone that is joining in October. We're working on figuring the date out now, but I will confirm it by the time this episode goes up. So I'm going to put it down below. And if you would like to join, email me at knitinc2019@gmail.com, and we'll send the link. Or you can message us on Instagram, but sometimes that's funky, so I'd rather you email me just to be sure, and then I will send out the link, and I will give the link to our friends Joyce and Loretta so that they can share it with their followers as well. So it'll be a community of 3 different podcast groups all coming together, and we can keep it pretty informal in the chat where, if you want to talk about what your leggings, you can. So I haven't cast mine on yet. I'm still thinking about how I'm going to do it, but why don't you talk about the progress you've made on yours?
Okay, so this has actually been my really fun knit, and I was working on this quite a lot in Pennsylvania.
You dropped the summer.
I dropped the summer and I went straight to these woolly leggings. Yeah, and I showed this last time. I think I may have just cast on it. I put all my leftover sock yarns into this big glass bowl, and this is what I'm using. But predominantly holding a dark yarn or a grey, either black or grey, with all these different stripy yarns. I'm having so much fun knitting these. So you do a rib for the waist, and there's yarn overs to make a drawstring I-cord.
Okay.
I think I'm knitting the size 2 now. There's definitely seems to be quite a bit of ease. There's quite a few short rows for the rear end, and and I'm about halfway down the calf of the first leg, and they're going to be a little bit loose.
Yeah.
Not like really tight leggings, but really kind of comfy winter pants to wear with a long top or under a skirt or something. I'm kind of imagining this to be my work from home attire. Mm-hmm. And I'm really having fun using up the leftovers. I'm already dreaming about maybe making another pair. If you are thinking of casting on, then just a tip from Joyce is to make the band much longer, the waistband, than the pattern calls for. The pattern, I think you do a total of, oh, hey there.
Oh, he wanted to come and bite my hair.
He wanted to come join with us.
He's all about the yarn.
A deeper waistband might actually be more comfortable. So if I was to do another pair. But anyway,
good boy.
Please join us if you want to use up some stash, or Loretta bought yarn specifically. She's going to do hers in a reddish, like a red solid and a red striping. So you can do that too. You can make them scrappy. You can make them in just one color or 2 colors. You can match the legs or not. I'm not going to match the legs. It would be too much of a challenge the way I'm using my scraps to match the legs, but definitely a fun knit. And the thing that also really makes it fun is that I'm using these short needles, not short, not like the 9-inch circulars, but and then this way you can just go round and round, and it makes it so much faster. I'm just at the point now, I think, where I'm going to use a shorter cable, because it's sort of stretched almost to the maximum at the moment. So yes, as Natasha said, if you want to join, cast on, and if you want to join us for a real-time video knit and chat hour sometime in October, please send us a link.
Yeah, and I think we'll record an episode when we're back from England one more time before that, so we'll have another.
Before that happens,
we'll remind you again. And I also, did you talk about how you're doing yours kind of opposite the the pattern has
I
it.
didn't talk about that.
The
no.
pattern has it so that the right side is actually
The reverse.
but you
Got it.
preferred to have your knit stitches showing versus your purl stitches, so you kind of turned it inside out a bit, right?
Yeah, you can see it's a different look. This is how Stephen West has it, the reverse garter stitch look. But I kind of prefer the stocking stitch. It's a little bit more muted, and
I think it's actually more muted the other way.
Do you?
Because you there's more marling where they kind of fade, right?
yeah,
I think this you see the distinction this way of the change in color.
that's true. That there's
The change
more
in color more drastically
abrupt changes.
than the other way. So I think the other way is actually a bit more muted. This way you see
Yeah, there's an
Yeah.
there's abrupt changes right here.
it transit. That's what they do with fades typically, right? You see the purl side a little bit more,
Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of reverse garter stitch, to tell you the truth.
or reverse stockinette.
That even. Okay, so this has been kind of my fun.
Yeah, so we hope you join. I've been convinced to start it. I just haven't yet. So, but we've got plenty of time. I think, December 31st, I think is going to be our target end.
Mm-hmm.
So, start gathering those scraps you have, and it's an easy project. And I think something that I've learned is that it actually is it's kind of not as intimidating as you would think, because it's kind of like the butt area is like the small torso of a sweater, and then you're knitting two big sleeves. So it's not that complicated.
No,
so I'm excited to try that.
And it's a Stephen West pattern, and as you know, his patterns are really well written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So speaking of Stephen West, I'm sure you have all heard about his mystery knit along that is kicking off. So he had some kits available this week, and the first part of the pattern is available just for some help to pick colors. So my mom has done the Stephen West mystery shawl knit along since 2013.
Mm-hmm, that was my first one.
And I joined for the 10 year, which was in 2019. This is the 12th year he's doing it.
Yeah.
And it's always a really fun shawl. You learn something new every time, which I think is great. He's also kept the pattern at $6 this whole time. He hasn't raised the price on that, which is also really kind. And it gets bigger and bigger every year with the community joining. Yeah. So I totally got into the hype. He's like so great with his fun videos wanting you to join. And this year it's 5 skeins, contrasting colors, fingering weight yarn, 100 grams each. He said you will have extras, but 5 different colors. And I have been wanting to check out the bicycle wool by West Wool for a while, so I used this excuse to order a kit. And at 10 o'clock on the dot on Wednesday, I went on and got myself a kit. He had all types of price ranges. So he had holst kits, he had some other commercial yarn kits, and then he also had some really precious hand dyers like La Bien-Aimée and Lola Bean. So the whole gamut of kits. I went with West Wool and got some teal and gray, and then I ordered one. So I actually am getting 6 skeins. I ordered a skein of like a mustard to see if I want to mix out one of the teal colors. So right now you can get the pattern on Ravelry, or I think he has not pay hip, but he has another way of getting it. And it'll give you some guidance on choosing colors. And then the gumdrop, yeah. And then October 8th is the day the first clue comes. So if you're new to mystery knit alongs, you don't know what the end pattern's going to be, but you will be told needle size, how much yarn, what colors, and then over the course of 4 weeks you will get a clue. So maybe you'll be able to keep up the first week, but it's really hard to keep up for all 4 weeks because his shawls are huge. This is a smaller one. This is the first one you did back in 2013. What was this one called? Color Craving. Okay.
Yeah, and so, this is really what got me into Stephen West. And you can see this is a really unusual shape. It's a bit of a challenge to wear. It's definitely a statement piece.
I find that his shawls are a challenge to wear. Like the one I knit in 2020, I don't wear that often. But it's just such a fun knit, and it is a statement piece. When I wear it, I do enjoy it. It's just, I don't gravitate to it.
Yeah. For me, it's been a ritual. I've done there may have been one year that I didn't do it because I was traveling, but it's a kind of an autumn ritual, and I just really, really love his knit-alongs. I love the idea that there's thousands of people knitting all over the world together, and they are always super interesting, and you always learn something new. Like in this one, you've got these huge yarn overs.
Yeah.
The shapes are interesting.
Yeah.
The 5 colors of yarn was a challenge. So last year I used the excuse to knit with holst yarn for the first time, and I just made up. I've never bought one of his kits. I use his color choices as inspiration, and I got mine from Holst directly last year, and I really enjoyed Holst yarn. This year I decided I wanted to try knitting for Olive. It's also a Danish yarn, and if you watch Sari from Finland, she uses knitting for Olive yarn a lot, and I really wanted to try it. So I ordered some.
He had kits, but they
sold out so quickly.
Yeah.
And also his kits from Knitting for Olive were in a cotton merino blend, but I wanted to use Knitting for Olive's 100% merino. So I made up my own kit with 2 extra colors just in case what I picked doesn't quite go together.
Nice.
And it's basically 3 shades of gray, and then I picked a Bordeaux. The color's called Bordeaux, and then a lighter rose. But then later on in the day, I saw a picture of somebody that had bought a kit from Life in the Long Grass, which is dye from Ireland. I'd never tried, and their yarn colors just looked really exquisite. And they have a 90% merino, 10% linen blend that I really wanted to try. So I sort of picked colors that were very similar to a kit that Stephen had, but in a different base.
Okay.
And so I just ordered another one, which was a little bit over the top, ordering 2 different
But I think
kits.
the yarn will not go to waste.
I was just so excited about the yarn, and so the second one is all kind of is purples. Yeah. And I feel like I'll decide when I see them which one to use for the shawl, and we'll between us we'll enjoy using that. I'm also thinking the Knitting for Olive will be really versatile to make lots of other things with. So that's the excitement. I can't wait for all of this yarn to arrive. And you haven't even decided if you want to knit, if you want to do the.
I know.
It's called shawlography, by the way, this year,
shawlography.
And if you've watched Stephen's YouTube videos, they're all about dancing. The yarn's going to be dancing, and he is a trained dancer.
Yeah, I just love the hype and excitement, and I think it's just so fun. Like, I just think he's such an inspiration. I love the part that you learn something new, and he has video tutorials along the way. What's holding me back is that there are other things that I want to be working on, and I'm like, this is going to take away from my knitting time of what I want to be knitting on, like my fall sweaters.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just like, oh, that's going to be the whole month of October, because I'm going to want to try and keep up for the first couple weeks. I know I won't be able to do it all in time. So I'm not as stressed about that. I'm more like, no matter how long it takes me, it's taking my knitting time away from something else I want to do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know I'll have fun doing it, and if I just kind of space it out, and
Right.
and I think the other part that's holding me back is since it's the other one I did was just 2 colors.
Oh yeah.
And so I felt fine kind of choosing, okay, this is my dark color, this is my light color. I'm okay with how this is all going to work out. When it's 5 colors, I'm like, okay, how are these going to mix together? Am I choosing the color that I want to be the most prominent in the right spot. He has a lot of guidance for this too, because, you know, it is mystery. But then, like, you see people, you're like, ooh, I kind of wish I did that. And part of my, like, project cast on process is stalking Ravelry pictures to see what people have done and kind of learning. And you don't have that with a mystery knit along. So, you know, I'll probably fall behind and see what other people are doing and kind of get some ideas to modify. I'm like already like, oh, I want to modify how I'm doing it, but like I don't even know what it is to modify yet. So
you're already overthinking it. But you, but you actually got one of his kits, right? So he and he said several times in his videos that he's going to guide you with color placement.
I'm going to have to trust him. You know, I'm very likely going to do it. At least cast on and do the first couple clues. The Friday that it kicks off, I'm actually going to be in DC on a trip with some of my best friends that I grew up with. So it's gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna fall behind right away.
That may impact
but that's
you.
okay. You know, I'm okay with falling behind and seeing what people are doing and doing it on my own time.
There you go. Whereas
I'm definitely okay with that.
I love to try to keep up. For me, I love the whole knitting with everybody, getting excited about the second, you know, the next clue being released. But for me, the last clue is released on 29th of October, and then I'm going on a walking vacation, leaving on the 30th, so I won't be able to take it with me. So I won't finish it, so I'll have one clue left when I get back home.
Okay.
But that's okay. If I can keep up with the first 3 clues, I'll be pretty happy. And then the challenge will be finishing it. Because there's one that, once I finished all of them except for this one, which was the
Speckle and
Pop from 2018, and these are the colors, and it is going to be fun. But the border included brioche and was really funky, and in the end I think I unpicked it, and I never went back to finish it. But now I'm motivated to finish this. Whoops, there's a dropped stitch. Before starting the new one, so I might finish this.
I mean, you could do what I'm doing with my fold lines and just put a stitch marker and try and do a certain length a day, or a certain amount of grams a day, or whatever it is, and you'll just slowly make progress.
But they're fun colors. Look at these colors.
These are different colors to what you normally do
too. And I love this blue.
It's hard to see. I guess I can show it. Yeah, here we go. That's a better representation of it.
Yeah, this was very speckly. The one that's coming up this time, Shawlography, he's encouraging people to use more solid or tonal colors. But this was speckle
contrast.
Yeah, but this was Speckle and Pop, and the whole point was to use speckly yarn. Anyway, so I think I should try to finish this. I haven't been planning any sweaters yet. There's nothing in my mental queue really. Nothing that I'm dying to cast on except Shawlography, and that's not till 8th of October.
Yeah, I got a whole month to go here.
Okay.
You're up. Okay, so if you've made it this far, we have a giveaway because we made it to 4,000 subscribers. Thank you, everyone. So I think we should do 2 giveaways.
Okay.
So we'll give away to 2 people, and the way to participate, comment below with what you're knitting on this fall. Are you going to work on a whip? Is there a new pattern you're dreaming about? Do you currently have something cast on? So we'd love to hear any fall related patterns. So basically just not a tank top. If it's a hat, if it's mitts, if it's a sweater, if it's it could even be a tee, whatever you're doing, we'd love to hear it. And if you're like in a warm climate and you're like, I'm casting on a tank top for the fall, let us know what it is.
Well, it'll be your spring.
Yeah.
If you're on the other side of the world and you are embarking on spring, tell us what your spring knitting is, please.
Yes.
And we will choose 2 random giveaways.
So we don't have the yarn, but we're gonna give away a skein of yarn each. So that'll be a nice surprise. It will be a yarn dyer or maker from New England somewhere. TBD if it's from the Boston area or Connecticut. Or even like Maine or Vermont, but you will get a skein of New England related yarn. And then because I have my hand lettering business too, I'm going to give away some knitting related prints as well as some other prints. So I have these cards. They say you are knitterly the best. a little pun there. So you're going to get one of those and then another card that says Knit Happens.
Oh, these are great.
And then an assorted of my other prints where I've got, and the other, I also have Yarned and Dangerous. And
I love that.
Don't Stop, Knit It, Knit It. So these are in my Etsy shop. I will do a discount for viewers. It'll be knit20 and you can get 20% off. I'm going to put the code there. So I also have other prints like Beach More, Worry Less. Sorry, they're in like a plastic protective, so there's a bit of a glare. Wander Often, Wonder Always. Say Yes to New Adventures. I did this whole like adventure themed lettering. Not
nice.
All Who Wander Are Lost, and then What Is Life but One Grand Adventure. So the giveaway winners are going to get some knitting assorted ones as well as some assorted kind of adventure prints. So they're in a variety of sizes. And we're also going to have, we have one, I guess, you know what, let's do three. Let's do 3 giveaways.
Wow, okay.
Because two people will get a skein and prints, and one person will get a bag and prints. So this is a really nice
huge
big
tote.
project tote from Sandy, our friend in Wisconsin, who sent us a bunch of bags. This is the last one we have. Rumor has it she's going to be sending us some more, so stay tuned. And what do you have in there?
And I have these knitting bracelets.
We have so many things.
I know, and these are heavy, but we're also going to send a bracelet which has.
So we can save some for future giveaways. But
Yeah.
These are really cute. They've got like, there's a little sheep.
This is a yarn ball. They each have a knitting related charm. A friend of mine made these.
Cute.
So
And
yeah.
then there's some nice, beautiful stones.
Yeah.
Oh, and just one more thing. So this has a nice little zipper in here, and you can put like, it's a nice way to kind of collect a bunch of your project bags all in one place. So it's good if you're traveling and you can put everything in
That's
here.
what. Yeah. This is mine. That's what I do. I fill this with all my projects. Yeah.
Okay, so, and there's actually, these are also pockets. Couldn't think of the word. Okay, so we'll do three winners. So we'll choose at random the random number generator. Comment below with what you're going to be knitting on this fall. One winner will get the bag and some other goodies, and 2 other people will get a skein and other goodies. So please subscribe too if you haven't, because we'll definitely do a 5,000 subscriber giveaway when we get there. So please make sure you're subscribed if you're watching, and thank you for making it this far in this video.
Know I feel like we've been a little bit scattered this episode, but yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your comments, for subscribing. We are just so enjoying sharing our knitting with you. Bye.